I'm going to show some more proof. Now, this is proof that I had never seen before, and I couldn't believe it when I saw it. And this is going to be proof against those who say that, hey, the serpent seed isn't physical, it's just a spiritual thing. How can you teach such things? You sound like a racist and so forth. Well, I'm going to prove to you that Genesis chapter 3, verse 15, when it talks about two seeds, is a physical conflict between two family lines born on this earth today that end in two messiahs. Don't go away. Don't miss any part of this study, because I got some slides at the end that you really need to see. More proof that both the serpent seed and the woman seed are physical lines of descent. Turn with me to 1 Samuel chapter 20, verse 41. And it reads, "And as soon as the lad was gone, David arose out of a place toward the south and fell on his face to the ground and bowed himself 3 times. And they kissed one another and they wept with one another until David exceeded." Many of you are familiar with this, and you probably already know what we're talking about. We're talking about the relationship, the kinship between David and Jonathan, Saul's son. They were friends, best of friends. Let's go to this verse, verse 42. "And Jonathan said to David, 'Go in peace, forasmuch as we have sworn both of us in the name of the Lord, saying,'" now check this out, "'The Lord be between me and thee, and between my seed and thy seed forever.' And he arose and departed, and Jonathan went into the city." What Jonathan was saying there, he was making a covenant with David, saying, let there never be a conflict. Let our relationship never be sour between you and me. And not only does it stop there, but between our posterity. And why did I come here? Because this is the exact same structure of language used in Genesis 3, verse 15. In this case, it's good. There was going to be a good relationship between these two posterities, these two seeds, these two family lines, between David's and Jonathan's. But in the case of the serpent seed, I'll read it over again. "And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel." Can you believe that? I'm going to go back there again. Now, if we were to say that the serpent seed is not a physical seed, then we'd have to say, well, Jonathan's seed was a spiritual seed as well. And maybe David's is too. Do you see that? That is amazing. I don't know why I never saw that before, but I just saw it here, and it just solidifies it even more. All right, another case where different seeds are mentioned. 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 33. "Their blood shall therefore return upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever." Now this is when Solomon was taking over the kingdom. He was getting things in order, and he was eliminating people who he didn't feel needed to be around and so forth. Anyways, "Their blood shall therefore return upon the head of Joab, upon the head of his seed." Is that spiritual? No, we're talking about Joab's descendants. "But upon David, and upon his seed, and upon his house, and upon his throne, shall there be peace forever from the Lord." In other words, Solomon here was saying that there would be no peace upon Joab for some things that he had done. He had killed some innocent people, that he was continuing on to his seed. that he was continuing on to his seed. So what do we have there? 2 seeds mentioned. One was going to be cursed and one was going to be blessed. This isn't the seed of the, Joab wasn't the seed of the serpent or anything like that. I'm just trying to show you how how to interpret Genesis chapter 3 verse 15 and how it can be done simply by looking at these places. It cannot, the serpent seed cannot be spiritual. It cannot. Therefore, there must be a real family on this earth that are made in Satan's image, that do the works of Satan, that do his deeds, that do his bidding, and that ultimately will bring forth the false Messiah. The false Messiah. All right. Now I'm going to go to Revelation 22, verse 16. I think we're getting towards the end of this study. Yes, this is important. Revelation 22, actually, we still got a little ways to go. Stay with us. Revelation 22, verse 16, I, Jesus, have sent mine angel to testify unto you these things in the churches. Now, this is important. Why does Christ say this? I am the root and the offspring, or I could translate that, the seed of David and the bright and morning star. Jesus said, again, we talked about that, how he was the originator of the house of David, and he was also its seed. Amazing. Amazing. But you know what? You know who else was called in Isaiah chapter 14? Was called a morning star, son of the morning? Was Lucifer. Satan, before he rebelled. In fact, in the book of Job, it even says that the morning stars, Job chapter 38, verse 7, that the morning stars sang together and all the sons of God shouted for joy. Who are those morning stars? Well, all we know from the Bible is that one was Christ, the Son of God, and one was Satan. And one was Satan. And I thought that was very interesting. And you see even Cain and Abel, like I said, were types of the true son and the false son. Abel was righteous. Cain was wicked like his father. And it seems to be examples of this, we have the false son, which is Lucifer, and the true son, which is Christ. And anyways, I'm going to go to a very controversial, in closing here, I'm going to read some quotes from a very controversial book